man who's in demand, actor all over the world, just came back fairly recently from a tour of Finland, of all places. Shows you truly that the whole world wants to see the phenomenal AJ Styles. However, coming back here under not the most ideal circumstances, just a few days prior to Fright Night 2003, Jeff Jarrett won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship from AJ Styles in a very controversial matchup involving the title belt and some other chicanery. But regardless, AJ Styles expected to come back here to the NWA Arena as World Heavyweight Champ.
Well, and the other controversy underlying there is that Jeff Jarrett was supposed to be here tonight. He had a contracted defense scheduled. It's NWA bylaws. If the champion wins, he must meet the prior champion's elected defenses, and this was an elected defense for Styles. Jarrett, by law, should be here, but the cowardly, low-down, egotistical, nepotistical son of a bitch did not show up. And now, the #1 contendership, as deemed by Jarrett, on the line here in this matchup. And Bill Behrens is trying, as the NWA president, to get Jarrett back here for the winner of this matchup. They wanted it to take place here in Wildside. And the winner of this matchup is going to be that #1 contender. Now Styles and the World Television Champion. A clash of eras. Two men that have literally dominated their respective era of NWA Wildside. Styles, a former World Television Champion himself. He knows the gold that Rainman is held around his waist. Styles also a former NWA Wildside Heavyweight Champion before going on to the NWA World Tag Team titles, the X Division Championship, and the grandest prize of them all that is now being soiled by a guitar-carrying bastard, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
And that's where we stand as of this moment. However, AJ Styles also happens to have in his background, oh, beautiful picture, perfect drop kick leveling the Soul Assassin. AJ Styles has a distinct knowledge, a very profound knowledge of Jeff G. Bailey and all things that are NWA Elite. This is not new territory for AJ Styles under any circumstances, and Rainman has his hands full and then some here tonight.
It's very familiar territory for Styles. And AJ Styles to the outside, completely clearing the top rope, eviscerating the Soul Assassin with a forearm shot.
Perhaps the most astounding athlete walking the earth today, AJ Styles.
When I pinned him with the name Phenomenal, it was as sincere as it could be. This guy is the most phenomenal athlete in the world, and we are proud of him. We are so proud of AJ Styles for all that he's accomplished, all the names he's beaten, all the individuals that he's taken to the limit to become the bona fide superstar he deserves to be. From World Championship Wrestling to turning down an offer from Vince McMahon, and now Styles with a senton over the ring.
And leveling the Soul Assassin in the attempt. Oh, the crowd is electric. Just dying to see AJ Styles make his return to the NWA Arena. He and Cornelia. And for a match that, although the world title is not at stake for AJ Styles, still, stakes is high for AJ. And hopefully Jeff Jarrett will find in his magnanimous heart, note the subtext, that if AJ Styles wins this matchup, he becomes truly #1 contendership for that belt.
This is AJ Styles, a man that just 3 weeks ago on pay-per-view defeated the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, in an NWA World Heavyweight Championship defense. He took one of the all-time great champions and took him to the limit. And now he's got the best that Jeff G. Bailey, quite possibly the best that Wildside currently has to offer, in the Soul Assassin Rainman, World Television Champion for 10 long months. A record that has been shattered here in NWA Wildside and quite possibly in the entire history of the National Wrestling Alliance. Rainman now off the ropes goes Styles. Wheelbarrow Nagasataru goes for a bulldog corner, and there's the Dark City Bomb from the Soul Assassin. A signature maneuver and one of his go-to moves as he makes the lateral press. Styles is out at 1.5. It's way too early, and the Soul Assassin must waste no time. He is in the ring with quite possibly the greatest professional wrestler in the world today.
And a picture-perfect drop kick from Rainman shows he's just as good with the drop kicks as AJ Styles is. Pin attempt from Rainman. Oh, no go. As you mentioned, yeah, still too early on in this matchup. Now, AJ Styles has faced competitors sort of all shapes and sizes, but I don't think he's faced anyone with quite the pedigree that the Soul Assassin Rainman brings to the game. Oh, my God. Thunderous fist right to the forehead of the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Variation of the spine splitter from Rainman. Actually took it into a spine buster variation as opposed to that elevated power bomb, but still effective. And now he's choking the life out of the former world heavyweight champion. And the phenomenon is down and in pain, having received a Dark City style mugging.
And mugging is precisely what Rainman does, both in the ring as well as we've seen outside the ring.
Going for a dragon suplex, but Styles manages to counter. Look at that! Complete rotation and a kick to the head.
And it's a blind one, too. He could only really guess where Rainman was, and he connected. Phenomenal indeed. Well, most of the crowd on their feet. Taking a look at the returning AJ Styles to the NWA arena. Chops aplenty from the phenomenal one.
Styles drops the knee there. Now turning the tide into his favor. He hooks the leg. Is the Soul Assassin prime? No.
And unfortunately, I hope this is not going to figure out into the play of this matchup. Andrew Thomas is the referee designated for this matchup, a man who has affiliation with the NWA Elite. I hope that does not bode bad news for AJ Styles.
Sunset flip there by Rainman 2 count. As you mentioned, Thomas is the referee, although with NWA President Bill Behrens closely watching this matchup, Andrew Thomas would have to fear for his job, and even though he was signed to an ironclad contract, NWA President Bill Behrens could demote him to the lowest possible portion of officiating. He could make him clean the floors. He could lose Andrew Thomas as even the junior official. So he's got to call it down the middle as Styles locks on that ankle lock and now goes into that inverted STF. And the Soul Assassin is in pain.
The only time we've ever seen the Soul Assassin tap out was to Jeremy V at War Games. So it's obviously something that Soul Assassin doesn't do very often. We know it can happen, and AJ Styles thought it was worth the chance, and I agree.
Well, AJ Styles trained right here at the NWA Arena at the hands of the original Chosen One, Rick Michaels, and fought his way up through the ranks. Rainman actually trained by his former partner, Murder One. A big power slam, and AJ Styles kicks out. The Soul Assassin, he's got that invaluable training from the cold, hard streets of reality.
And I don't believe AJ Styles, certainly at NWA TNA, has faced a man with that sort of street pedigree that Rainman brings to the ring.
And he's been in the ring with Dusty Rhodes, Raven, Jeff Jarrett. He's beaten them all. He's been in the ring with Sting.
Look on the bright side, AJ Styles. At least Rainman didn't bring a guitar with him. And a foot to the throat of the phenomenal one. Rainman trying to wear down AJ Styles, a feat very few people have ever managed to do.
Big right hand there by the Soul Assassin. Adjusting himself. And there's that Dory Funk style forearm that he learned straight from the master. Another former world champion himself in Funk. Styles up and over there, but he did not counter that. The Soul Assassin, a thinking man's wrestler, right on his game, saw Styles charging with a similar attack, and he sent him over in a back body drop.
Yeah, AJ Styles seemingly moving at half speed. And Rainman going for two successive pin attempts. And AJ Styles still manages to kick on out before the 2 count still. Fist flailing into the head of AJ Styles. And seemingly on the look on the face of Rainman, frustration is beginning to set in. Did he really think AJ Styles is going to be a cakewalk? Surely Rainman is smarter than that.
The Soul Assassin, Rainman, he's now trying to get the psychological edge on Styles, but wait a minute. Styles reverses there. Spine buster He held the name of David Young, and man, he had many classic battles with here in this arena. And the master of that maneuver, borrowing it, is Styles here.
And a spine buster of major proportions has got AJ Styles seemingly on the more positive aspect of this matchup, and the offense now belongs to the phenomenal AJ Styles.
There's a spine breaker by Styles. That pump handle backbreaker maneuver there may do it in. No, the Soul Assassin showing his tenacity here.
Well,
he's taken everything the former world champion's got to offer, and he's kicked out.
Well, that spine breaker was devastating indeed. Ditto a series of kicks to the front and the back of the Soul Assassin. Boy, Rainman's been pegging from pillar to post from AJ Styles. Now a rear chin lock.
Styles going to try to wear down the Soul Assassin, and showing a lot of aggressiveness here in doing so. He's really got that chin lock in. And while it may not be a flashy maneuver like the Shooting Styles press or the spiral tap or the Styles clash, it's just as effective to wear down and pace and just cut off the carotid artery. I mean, it is a maneuver that will just wear you plumb out.
I mean, talk to any wrestler in the 20th century about a rear chin lock. When it's properly applied, and you'd be seeing stars in no time.
Styles charging in here. One of his signature maneuvers, the drop kick off the chest, but he misses there. He connects with the elbow, up and over. Oh! Big drop kick from Rainman, countering Styles from the top, and Styles is dumped to the outside.
Boy, AJ Styles was already in flight when Rainman came up with that drop kick, sending Styles over that top rope, sprawling on the floor of the NWA arena. And a big chop from the Soul Assassin. And AJ Styles doesn't seem to have much left at this moment. Check that.
Styles catching his balance on the rail. The Rainman still caught him in midair from the second attack and sent him hard back first into the guardrail.
AJ Styles saw an opportunity and he took it. And oh, here's Jeff Bailey with his version of a Wrestling 2 knee lift.
Jeff G. Bailey there getting a shot in for old time's sake.
I hope that's as nostalgic as Jeff Bailey's going to get tonight.
Bailey tried to take AJ Styles out in his last Wildside appearance by returning Ron the Truth Killings, or K. Crush as he's known to the Wildside fans. Styles beat him with the Styles Clash. And that was at Hardcore Hell 2003, and now this is Styles' second appearance in 03 here in Wildside, and Bailey with his eternal quest to end Styles' wrestling career and rid the world of it. Hot shot by AJ Styles. And that would have made the legendary and late great Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert proud.
Not sure about our own Hot Stuff Hernandez, who will be facing Onyx in your main event at Fright Night 2003 for the Wildside Heavyweight Championship.
Still so much more to come, but that is not right now. Number one contendership, but territorial ownership at stake here. Oh, good grief, Styles with a neck breaker. Styles with the neck breaker, and this could be it.
Both these athletes showing everything they got, and that is plenty.
Styles with a brainbuster trying to seal the deal here. He's got the leg hook tight. I do not believe that Rainman kicked out of that.
No, he didn't kick out. He rolled a shoulder and just barely.
Regardless, he eluded the pinfall.
Yeah, but it shows you the damage that has been done to Rainman. Still not enough for that 3 count, and it's seemingly pretty much elusive from both of these competitors. What on earth is it going to take?
The Soul Assassin, a 10-month reigning world television champion, is getting taken to the cleaners by AJ Styles, but he's held his own here in this matchup, and now these two brawling onto the top turnbuckle. Styles is fighting tooth and nail. Rainman fighting tooth and nail. Who will be the winner here, Steve? Who will be the winner? Who will win this epic encounter?
I shudder to guess. Rainman now throwing AJ Styles off that top turnbuckle. And now a series of meeting of the knee.
They're just making Styles eat the knee. Styles fighting back with clotheslines as hard as he can. And these two guys, it's just a fight here. It is literally broken down to a fight here in the corner.
Yeah, with these guys seemingly getting a bit more spent as the evening progresses here.
And that last blow from Styles was hard. And wait a minute. Hurricane Rana from the top rope by Styles. The momentum carried Rainman over. I don't think Styles got all he wanted to.
No, he certainly didn't. Obviously, a lot of the wind has been taken out of the sails from the phenomenal AJ Styles. But Rainman looks equally the worse for wear. It's a dead even heat between these two athletes, both of whom are at the top of their game. And it is a treat and a half to present this to you, Wildside fans throughout the world, on Wildside Home Video at Fright Night 2003.
Rainman slugging with a right hand, but Styles going toe-to-toe with a street fighter. Back and forth, and they are just exchanging blows here. Look at them. They're going. They are breaking down. Double enziguri, and both men are down, and they may be down for the 10 count, Steve, as Andrew Thomas begins.
Interestingly, it seemed like they both had the exact same idea at the exact same time. Hard to believe that they both could have gotten in each other's minds like that. I mean, AJ Styles never really thought along the lines of I'd be a member of the NWA Elite, and I'm sure Rainman's kind of surprised that he thought of the same thing that AJ Styles thought of.
AJ Styles, a former member of the NWA Elite. Don't let that fool you. What does Styles have here? Good grief. I've called a lot of his maneuvers, but for the first time, as Rainman gets the rope, Styles has left me speechless.
He may do it again, too, Dan. The positioning was key in Rainman not getting pinned there, able to get a hand on that bottom rope. And AJ Styles thought he had this matchup won by now. Oh, my Lord. Thunderous punch in the face.
I thought that was a knockout punch, but Styles, amazing recovery. This is it. No!
And Rainman with a pretty convincing kick out, too.
The excitement here, Steve, is at a fever pitch.
Yeah.
Words cannot describe.
Styles can hardly believe it.
Rainman kicking out, a testament to this guy, the world television champion, earning that title here tonight. And Styles is calling for it. He's signaling for the coup de grace. No, wait a minute, Rainman all the way through. Styles clash did not happen. Forearm by AJ. And the Soul Assassin is in trouble. Styles has him hooked, front chancery from the top. Goes for a tornado DDT, but Rainman shrugs him off. Climbing wheel kick to the back of the head, but it lacked authority. Rainman is spent here.
Both Rainman and AJ Styles moving awfully slow.
Oh, he's going for the Dark City Street Cutter. Styles reversed it into a backslide. Spine Splitter from the Soul Assassin. But he is too winded.
And unlike pretty much every other athlete who had to deal with the spine splitter, AJ Styles kicks out.
A few precious seconds that were wasted due to the fatigue set in onto the Soul Assassin. Rainman could have very well pinned Styles there, but we'll never know. We will never know, as it took him too long going for a second. No, he's got him in position for the street cutter. Now Styles has it in a reverse waistlock. Rainman reverses the reverse waistlock. Bailey's on the apron, and we have a collision. Styles with a German suplex, and he rolls through. He's got him. Face buster.
And that is it. No, it is not it at all. Rainman kicks out. Oh, quit smiling there, Andrew.
The Soul Assassin showing us tonight, fans, how much he wants it. And let me tell you, I'm not playing any bias. I hate that guy. He gave me a spine splitter and shaved my head. He's not on my favorite list, but you cannot deny the effort of the World Television Champion against a proven international superstar. And wait a minute, Styles got tripped. He got tripped. Oh, Rainman just dropped him into a powerbomb. Rainman just dropped AJ Styles and he's limp. And both men are worn in this epic encounter of gladiators, fans.
And it was Jeff G. Bailey tripping up AJ Styles, putting him in this predicament in the first place.
Styles goes for a sunset flip. Rainman kicks out amazingly. Wait a minute. He's got him. He's got him.
No, he doesn't.
He's fighting. He's fighting his stiffness. Wait a minute. He's got him. Dark City Street Cutter.
And a shove from Bailey when Styles was clearly in the ropes.
And there's a second. And Rainman's making the cover.
Oh, my Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the Soul Assassin and the World Television Champion, Rainman.
The victory of Rainman's career right here, defeating the phenomenal AJ Styles